Hi, it's Rick Turoczy, your friend from the Portland startup community, founder of Pi and Silicon Florist, and built a few other things, some other stuff that I do. Maybe you read Silicon Florist. If so, I'm sorry. Thanks for stepping away from Animal Crossing to tune into this YouTube video thing that I'm doing. Um, This is another exciting episode of the single question response Q&A kind of things that we've chopping up a longer question and answer session we've done over on the Pi YouTube channel that seriously you don't want to sit through. I mean, it's long. And so we're trying to make it a little more digestible by creating these little small segments. We've talked about things like what even is a startup? We've talked about, there have been so many. There are two, and I can't remember both of them. So, what even makes a startup? And, oh, I know the other one. How do I start my startup? How do I start starting my startup? So, those two. And now, this third one, which is a perfect complement, is what does it take to be a good founder? And that's what we're kind of discussing in this one based on Pi experience and the founders who do well at Pi. I don't want to make like sweeping generalizations. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates are perfectly good founders who would not have fit in at Pi. This is a different kind of qualification, mostly predicated on the fact that I'm an awful founder of this stuff. I'm supposed to talk about not being a good founder.
Having a shitty founder.
All right. Most of this is based on my experience as a founder and qualities I found lacking in myself or areas where I felt like I failed because I'm not a good founder. Like I call myself a co-founder because it's cool. Kids think founders are cool in the startup world. So I use that title because I did actually start it, but I'm not a really good founder. So if you're curious about what I think makes for a really good founder, then pay attention to this session. A lot of folks are curious, like, am I capable of being a founder? Am I capable of doing a startup? Hopefully, this response will kind of help um, give you some insights into those qualities. If that's something you want to pursue, like maybe you want to go on the Shark Tank or talk to the venture capitalists and do your company thing, and be one of those cool rock star founder startup type kids. If that's what you want to do, you go get them, Tiger. Just listen to this stuff and figure out if maybe you have what it takes to be that kind of founder type person. Um, and if you stick around to the very end, you'll hear an entertaining interruption from our friends at Reverend Nat's Cider, Reverend Nat's for everybody, um, who sponsored the Pi Crowdcast. They don't sponsor this. They know better than that. Cool. Thanks for coming. If you like what you're hearing or you're curious about what we're going to do next, it's not we, it's me. I keep saying we. Um, Subscribe, drop in some comments, and give us a like, something. Give me a like. And yeah, it's good to have you here. Let's get into this question. Let's get into this answer about what it takes to be a really good founder. Alex asks, what does a founder mean to you? And so we've gotten into this conversation a couple times. Uh, I always claim that I'm not a founder, and some people push back on that. And my take on it, and it may be splitting hairs, but I think there's a difference between being entrepreneurial or being an entrepreneur and being a startup founder. I think startup founders kind of bandied about a lot these days, and it's kind of the popular way of describing people who are starting a business, and it has some cachet to it. But for me, then what's a startup? That should go in questions, Stephen, and we'll let the siren go by. You know better than that. Put that in the question thing. Um, so a founder is someone who a really good founder has a unique quality to balance, again, this vision I was describing of like I call it like entrepreneurial schizophrenia. Like I don't have a better term for it. I need to come up with a better term for it. But a founder has both the vision for how the world is going to be this amazing place once their product is developed and once their vision is realized, and yet the ability to focus on the very tactical, what do I need to get done within the next hour or within the next day or week. So they have this really good ability to balance between strategic and tactical. And not only that, they have the ability to inspire others to balance that as well. So that's one important quality of a founder. I think the ability to assimilate feedback and make decisions effectively based on your vision for the product is another important thing for the founder. And generally in the world I live in, be it software as a service or hardware based technology or even consumer products, that founder has to be driven to build a business. This isn't about creating a product. This isn't about attracting a community. A founder truly wants to build a business, even if it means that they have to kill the product that inspired them to start the business in the first place. So being a founder is about building a business. And in most of the work I do, being a founder is about building a business that scales rapidly and is super efficient with capital. So that's kind of my take on a founder and why I don't kind of qualify myself as a founder, because I don't really have that drive to like build pie into a massive scaling organization. I'm not so enamored of the business of pie. Like I like the work of pie. And I know Steven's in chat. Sorry, chat's over there. I keep forgetting. Steven's in chat, and Steven has this great phrase that he always uses about people who work in the business rather than working on the business. Founders work on the business and have an understanding of how to do that. I tend to work in the business, and that's where I enjoy doing things. So I'm not a founder, but I align very well with founders, and I partner very well with those people who have that strategic vision as being their tactical support. So I can be a co-founder. I'm just really bad as a singular kind of founder. So that's my kind of thing there. And I think Nat Cider is being delivered right now as we speak, because it's another opportunity to promote Reverend Nat's hard cider, our sponsor since day one.